Burger King has a new How to Train Your Dragon menu coming out. And it's the best How to Train Your Dragon ever. I love How to Train Your Dragon. And on the wallpaper, Toothless! He has a stick in his mouth. And he's so cute. And he has all his teeth. But his name is Toothless. Why did they name him Toothless? Was it because he was toothless in the first place? The How to Train Your Dragon. The How to Train Your Dragon. And Toothless. Wow! A toothless Night Fury! Wait, those are disappearing steps! Run as fast as you can! Chimpanzini bananini! I'm a pro at these disappearing steps! How to Train Your Dragon. Toothless the Night Fury. Run, Toothless, run! Stop following me, Toothless! Made it! Now we need to call... No, now we need to ring Stitch. From the How to Train Your Dragon at Epic Universe. Let's go to Epic Universe with Luna! Stitch, 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 Stitch! And then I want to see the How to Train Your Dragon. And Toothless. Hey, this is boring. The How to Train Your Dragon. And Toothless. And then we were watching How to Train Your Dragon. And then speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, you may have heard about the Burger King story about How to Train Your Dragon. You're going to hear a story about Toothless and all my other How to Train Your Dragons. My first ever dragon was a... This is a test. You may have heard about the Burger King story about How to Train Your Dragon. You're going to hear a story about Toothless and all my other How to Train Your Dragons. I think the first one is about Stitch and Toothless. So you need to stay in the back of the square. And then when it's ready, How to Train Your Dragons! And then go back. And then, is there another How to Train Your Dragon? Yes, there is. Oh no! Toothless, watch out! Phew. You made it, Toothless. Congratulations. Those are... Stitch! Wait, where are we? Toothless? Toothless! Chimpanzini bananini! Wah, wah, wah! Stitch? Stitch! Chimpanzini bananini! Wah! Now we're ready. My first ever dragon. This is another test. Light Fury, come here. Good girl. Stand in front of the camera, and then I can press this. Ready? My first ever dragon was a squeeze and growl light fury. I didn't like calling her Light Fury, so I named her Pudding. She listened to her first music. Her first music was music from the Generation Alpha. It was a song about this. How to train your dragon. And she was dancing to my songs. And her first ever snack was Shake Shack French fries. And I put a pink collar on her neck. Luna, show them your collar. Good girl. Around her neck, and she was a legend. She even went with me to my haircut and to the store. And then I brought her to summer school. She even makes noise. You want to listen? Aww. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm hugging her, but when I hug her too hard, like I hugged Toothless, when I said that she's so cute, she cries uncomfortably like this. And she tells me to stop, like this. And then I wake up gently and I say, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And she says, "I don't like how you're hugging me. You're telling me that I'm so cute and I'm trying to sleep." Then I hugged her softly from now on, like this. I was sleeping with her. Her batteries were getting old. Her voice was getting weak, like this. And I had to change her batteries. The reason why the new batteries at home don't work is because I didn't know that they were supposed to be pressed down to make noise. And then we got new batteries, and now she makes noise. She is fierce, and her voice is fierce. Listen. Hello, I'm Luna. But one day as I was playing with Luna, I accidentally threw her up in the wall on the platform in my room. She never came down. Miss you, Luna. She'll never come down. She'll never come back again. Maybe I can help someone to bring Luna down, but I don't want to destroy things because Luna is on top of something, and she is stuck. She hasn't drank water for how many days, and she hasn't gone on a field trip. The second dragon I had was... Come here, Toothless. The second dragon I got was... Toothless with a derpy face. And I called him Toothless, and he was so cute. Because I got a hair tie and I put it on his collar, and he was so cute. He stayed with me for Halloween and almost Christmas. And then my Toothless even helped me through my Luna cycle. If you know what that means. Everyone else come here, except no one. Do you know what a Luna cycle is? And then a Luna cycle is like your period, and you get it every month, and sometimes you even, the week or a few days before your Luna cycle or dragon cycle, you feel emotional and you watch How to Train Your Dragon. Blah, 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 blah. It is your period, but I call it the Luna cycle, or what I say, a dragon cycle. And then my Toothless has protected me since then, and I still kept my Toothless until Halloween. And I had my Luna cycle on Halloween, and I was wearing a Luna hoodie. So I had to wear a diaper to the Halloween parade at the college, and even to the Halloween party at college. And that was the first time I got my Luna cycle on Halloween, and until early November. And I started to treat Toothless as my son, and during my period, he stayed close to me. Speaking of my period, I started writing stories about a dragon named Mochi, who was on her period. And the story is on my hard drive. And then it tells her story about that she is in heat, and she is wanting to watch How to Train Your Dragon. The idea for the story came from dialogue of the television. And speaking of the television, I also watched the How to Train Your Dragon, and one time I told the story about that she left the door open, and that if she's in heat, her mother told her that she would be rolling on her back, rolling around restless, And that's how she's flirting and eating Funyuns in the class. Nom 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 nom. Funyuns in the class. And that's how she's telling me that she wants to find a boyfriend. Or she's impressing one, but her trick worked. When she was eating Funyuns in the cafeteria, a male light fury came to her. She realized that the light fury was in the next table from her, so she ran after him, and then when she finally found him, she said, "You're so cute, and I am on my period." Finally understood. And then his name was Comet. And then they became friends. And then another reference was that they were watching the Everyday Speech video. The Everyday Speech video. And there was a gray man in the television. The reason why they made the people gray in the television is to not focus on the person. The focus on the person that is colored. And then there was nether liquid or blood in her room. And then she was in heat. And then Mochi was on her period that day because she learned how to jump off the counter wearing her Luna. And she learned how to watch the television. And then she learned how to start impressing boys. And she is good at it. And the reason why Mochi is bleeding all over her room and she's vocalizing his death because she's on her period and she can't do a drawn-out screech. She can do a fierce screech. And then I made a story about not giving up, Luna the Light Fury, and then this dancing Toothless was with me. And did you know he went to Wendy's with me and he was jumping in the car to the music? And he was the greatest dragon and he was listening to my stories about going to the store. And then speaking of the store, and then I lost dancing Toothless. He was not here, but he should come back by tomorrow. Sorry. And then we were on vacation for winter break. And then what I wanted for Christmas was the new Toothless Build-A-Bear. It stayed, but I discovered it. Since I was How to Train Your Dragon fan, I said, I want this. And I said to my dad, can I have this Toothless Build-A-Bear for Christmas? Then my dad said, okay, let's do it. And then I just can't remember the look of his face, but it was so cute. Then I ordered it unstuffed because I wanted to have the experience of getting him fixed at the store. And then we decided to choose the sounds of Toothless. We decided to do that at the store. So I chose his clothes. I chose 3 jerseys of his clothes. A green one, a dark blue one, and an orange one. And then I bought Toothless white shoes and rainbow shoes. And rollerblades to put on his shoes. And then I still have Toothless's phone. It was a pink phone. And when we got Toothless, he was unstuffed. And then my Light Fury was still alive. Back then, and she even fitted the orange jersey. And then I got the unstuffed Toothless and his wings to vacation. And then we were having a How to Train Your Dragon, and that drink was my favorite at the restaurant because we got a Malay sandwich. It was like hospital food. But I mixed the drinks. I got an orchard at the fountain and a Mountain Dew at the next. And then we mixed it and I'm gonna be sleepy. When I wake up, and then I was sleepy. We decided to go to the lighthouse. No, the light show that day. Toothless, do you want to be in the television? He's here. Good boy. We went into a Harry Potter house, and it was fun. And then we went to the restaurant, and I had fun. And then we went back home because I was being a night fury at the Vietnamese restaurant. It's not PHOHTTYD Luna. It's not PHS alumni Dart. My parents tried to help me behave by saying, we're gonna go home tomorrow, when my uncle said that we're gonna go to the mall tomorrow. And that was the only chance I would get my Toothless. And that was the only chance I would get my Toothless. And then the next day, we went to the Storm, I think, and we got ranch, and we were waiting for my uncle, and then they were there. And then we went to the Westfield Mall.